Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. This is Dr. Sofia Beloka, high performance mentor, and it has been a very, very deep, transformative week following up the Women Economic Forum where I was speaking in London last weekend, where amazing entrepreneurs, businesswomen, global influencers actually were on stage speaking and giving their message, inspiring tons of women. There were not only physical contact, hello to Pierre, speak to you later. There were a lot of, hello Patrick, there were a lot of um, spectators, like in physical mode, but also a lot of people who attended other Facebook Lives that everyone almost was doing there. Everyone who was speaking or was there was doing also Facebook Live. And people who were really watching the transmissions, the live, hello Lala, the live transmissions that the event was doing around the globe, because it is a global event. And this is also today how lucky we are in 2019 and the years to come with technology. You can really grow your business online, whatever you're doing physically, where you are, in the city, in the town, in the village, in the middle of nowhere where you are, and really grow your business even in 6-5 figures annually when you do your own thing on your own terms, and what you really are excited about to create online. Everybody's waiting for you. Everybody waiting for your message. So 3 things today that I would like to share with you from my own experience from this last week and the weekend where we were in London, about how to really create that deep change when you have really tried many things. And I talk also with my clients, so when I work one-to-one, also with people, hello Lucia, also with people who are in my Global Influence Academy program, that they have tried before we get together many things. And I see that confidence is really an issue to people because they think that they have to be certified on another diploma, on another method, with another coach in order really to acquire something. Life learning knowledge never stops. We're here to expand and to learn and to really develop to who we are really here to be. But there is a key here, a key point, because you want to really work with those people who are really taking your past, but not only like trying to resolve your past in order like to resolve your issues, your problems, your blockages, to make you happy and to be happy on the present moment by healing your past, but also moving to your future plans, your future legacies, your future missions, your future stages of your life that you are dreaming or might not be even imagining what are your potentials to reach to. And this is why you really need like a performance coach. This is what I do with my clients in order to bridge the past and the future into the present moment, so you become this solid, congruent personality on a performance level, on a physical, on a mental, and on an emotional level, in order to create all these dreams, the stages of evolvement that you desire, health-wise, financial-wise, business-wise, and relationships, love-wise. Let's be honest in ourselves and let's really demand and require what you really don't dare to admit, because a lot of people don't dare to admit. So my experience from the speaking event in London really made me reflect on those 3 things, that are very big, deep secrets, because not a lot of people can manage this in order to achieve this deep change that you require. Not only you, but also your family requires from you, also your boss, your family, your friends, your God, even whoever God you believe, and the people that really are inspiring and you inspire from you and for you. So as I was speaking to that event, that was last Friday, the 8th of November, which was a very important day for me. So I was going to that event really like with a great mood, and I knew that something big, I was feeling that something big is gonna happen. I was really excited to go to the event and meet hundreds and thousands of women. I really didn't imagine that it would be so much evolving and such a great event, because exactly so many people from around the globe gather there and were open to connect. Um, and The first day, that was Friday, the event, the organization was a bit slow and in delay. Therefore, for example, my speaking event from 11:30 happened at 12:30. I remember I was on stage speaking and I watched the clock, and it started exactly at 20 past 12. We were many speakers, and in advance we were informed that we have the capacity to speak about 10 minutes. So everyone has prepared his speech about 10 minutes. So I go on stage, and at 2 minutes and a half, the moderator of the event tells me, "You still have 1 minute." So I was kind of surprised being up there on stage saying, but our slot is about 10 minutes. And she said, "No, for now it's 1 minute." So she was also kind of embarrassed about the fact that we had to really sum up very fast our speech and to really conclude in 3 minutes. Therefore, I did my closing sentence, and I just sat on my chair, really kind of wondering why this has to happen now. You know, in the past, another version of Sofia would be like really pissed off, annoyed, complaining to the moderator, complaining to an organization, like, it's not fair, it's you didn't tell us in advance, you inform us in the middle of the speech, in the middle of the session speaking, this is not a very good organization, we didn't complete our speaking slot, this is not fair, not all people took the time that is required. Then the organizer came in the middle of our slot, and she took, in order to excuse herself about the delay, she even took more time from the speaker's time in order to justify the whole thing. And instead, my reaction was that I sat on my chair and I was observing the next speakers. And after this incident, so the moderator was trying to give more time. So even I would have even an extra reason to complain about me, like, poor me, Sofia, why I don't have this extra time and why you did that to me. Like, would be a very usual reaction. That was my old version of me, so I will really understand how you would really react. Even by listening now, you might think about that as well. Instead, the key point there was for me to really say, like, no, I don't stay in this low level of trigger, because that's a low level of trigger, that's an animal level trigger, and on survival mode and on reaction, on the fight and flight response or sympathetic system. During my PhD research, my doctoral research, and the articles I have published, it's really on the sympathetic and parasympathetic system. So also my PhD really has helped me on these stressful responses and how to react on that. So sympathetic and parasympathetic system, the autonomic nervous system, actually, the physiology that we live moment to moment in our life and on whatever action we take is really, really key important. So that was a background that really, really helped me on that moment. Was to see that, to choose that I'm not staying on this fear and flight, stressful survival mode, and at this level, an interaction with another person, for example, the moderator or the audience there, and then to lift up to see like what is really the highest order, because I was sure that there was something like, hello, Lucia. Yes, exactly, old version, new version, same person, but on a different upgrade of version, exactly. Hello, Irene. Therefore, to really be conscious and lift up and take it, really choose and take it consciously and with action to the next level. So the action was physically to not stay on that sympathetic system phase, and to really feel the fact that I'm taking this, I'm choosing greatly to take this event, incident, to the next level of consciousness thought, and to say like there is something here different that I need to see and I need to approach a different point of view, a different approach, a different perspective that is laying out for me. So I'm really curious to see what is happening now. And I was watching the next speakers. So I was watching how they're speaking, I was watching their presence, I was watching their message, I was watching what was their magnetism, I was watching how they were dominating the room, and I was watching also the interaction with the audience, what actually they were giving to the audience. And after a while, really, the conclusion just, boom, landed in my thought process, in my emotion, and my whole body was really like in goosebumps. Because I just had this, the answer. And that was not the personal conclusion, like inner kind of process. But it didn't stop there. So my friend, one of my friends was in the audience, and so I was very okay because I had my inner answer. So I was like, oh gosh. For a moment I stopped and I was like, this is really what's happening here. This is really what's happening. And I didn't only became grateful, just like we say grateful, and being grateful, and the process that we learn today, nowadays, to be grateful, I believe, and from all the research I have made, is really quite surface and not in depth. So I felt that gratefulness, congruent level, really on the mental, on an emotional, and on the physical level. And this is like really where we want to be actually. This is like that enlightenment moment when you're feeling like empty but so fulfilled but so empty, because there is the absolute zero, there is the absolute balance, there is the absolute no content but so much content, where you feel neither happy and neither sad, neither trigger but neither like happy. There's just this boom. I mean, those who have been blessed so far to feel that feeling, you know how it is. You know how it is. So there was this calmness, because this answer and what was really the order, just boom, there was there. And there was dominant also in the room. And how I got that response? Secondly, because the first level was like in my internal container. That was the first. Second, my friend came from the audience, and she came to me and she was like, Maria, she's watching the video right now. Thank you, Maria, for being there, supporting me and cheering for me on that event. So Maria was there, and she was taking photos and videos. So she was like, but that was not really nice, what happened in the session. And I said, yes, we could take like that, but it really doesn't matter, because I have my answer why this happened on the point I was speaking, and what was the response for it. What was the response for that? So the response, I shared with her the response, and I will share with you in a while as well. I shared with her what was like the response. Hello, Lucia, how did you come there? Thought meditation, other work. Yes, it's another work that I will share in a while, exactly. And this is exactly what I do one-to-one with my clients, and on the Global Influencers Academy, where I have on the content and the modules that I have with amazing global clients online. And this is exactly how I did for myself and trained myself a few years ago, when I really wanted to pick up my performance, get over my autoimmune pathology, and really become create a leap in my life. So we shared that response with my friend. That was the second stage. And she really got it because she also participates on the Global Influencers Academy content, so she knows what I'm talking about. So we share, if you want, a same common codes of language and communication, which is very, very important, I believe, when you have to do with other friends or with social environments or with collaborators, especially with people you collaborate. I really believe that we need to speak the same code language, the same communication, so we know what is the foundation, a common foundation. That's why the people who participate in my Global Influence Academy, it's not just about being an academy and grow their influence and grow their personal project, but it's about me also to see with which people out of the Global Influence Academy that I lead and I teach, I can collaborate in the future. Because we really need to be on the same level of consciousness, the same level of performance, and the same level of mastery. And the third level, which was really kind, if you want, the confirmation. So the first level was the transformation. The second phase was like the expression and to be able to transmit that. And the third stage was like the, hello Elena, hello Daniel. And the third stage was like the confirmation response. So it's like the stimulation, giving out the stimulation, the message, the second stage, and the third stage, getting the confirmation from the outer environment to the internal. I didn't prepare all these actually. These are just coming into my consciousness right now as I'm speaking and explaining this. And this as a response, there are like a lot of people watching this Facebook Live right now. The third stage, so the confirmation was when the session stage and the next, I also spoke then, 2 more times the same day, and the same people that they were in the room came also to watch my other speaking slots. And the next day I went back to the event. So for 2-3 days, there were people, even now I receive messages from people, hello Anka, that they come to me and they tell me, oh my God, you didn't have so much time to speak, but you gave me what I needed. And you were one of the few speakers, if you want the only speaker, that really make me connect with myself, and I took something from your speaking that the majority of the speakers didn't do, because the majority of the speakers spoke about themselves, me, my records, my books, my programs, my la 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 la. And you were one of the few speakers that spoke about us. You gave something to us. Your speaking was content, was a service to us. Was not about you actually. But that slot where you just had time to speak about 2.5 minutes, you really connected me with myself. You really devoted the time to connect me with myself, to look into me, to connect with me, and that's why really you were a speaker that I couldn't forget the last days. I did something specific with them, actually. I create deep interaction for them and with them, that only whoever was in the room, only my one-to-one clients and my global influencers students know about, and those people that come to my retreats, and actually the clients actually who are really open to do it, because I work a lot of my, it's not tools or techniques or my methods with clients, but there are people who don't dare to go there, and there are people who say, no, I don't want to go there because I have done this, or they think that I've done this with my psychologist, with my coach, with my promoter, with my mentor, well, and they don't want to go back there because they're afraid that they will touch deeper levels of themselves or of the situation, that they don't want to go there, or that they will recall things and memories. But I have an advice for you really. When you don't dare to go back to a place because you're challenged, because you're afraid, because you get triggered, emotional, charged, it means that you haven't got over it. It means that you haven't finished the work. It means that we'll come back to you. It means there's much work to do. For good. For good. Because what I did also, really like in 2.5 minutes, help people, some people, the majority of the people, because I could see them, and they came later to speak to me to say like, I was gone, really to see them like in this state that they needed to be, and there were other people who couldn't connect, and that's okay, because everybody needs his speed. I just have a session at 12, so I need to speed up. So that was the third stage, people coming in order to confirm that stimulation and response that I had. Voila. So how to do that? One of the things that we are invited, demanded, and required to do nowadays in 2019, and in the years to come, it will be such greater demand and requirement from all levels of our interactions, other business, other personal, other social, other financial, other health-wise, other whatever domain, is really how to enact a conscious response when an event happens between you and you, so within you, or between you and other people, or between you and the situation. This is really a requirement that really I see it more and more and more to be a requirement and to be a necessity and to be a training and a practice module. This is exactly what I teach in the Global Influence Academy, exactly at the first module that we start, the first month, and we keep using it in the next month, because it is exactly what you need in order to train yourself, like Lucia was asking me before, and to be able to master your emotion, to master your mind, and to master your physical reactions on the moment that the trigger will happen. Nowadays, everybody talks about triggers, but this response is a matter of practice and a matter of training. I have created my own method on that, that I share with very specific people who are ready to receive it, and that's in my one-to-one private containers. And with the Global Influencers Academy participants, I use a specific technique. For a whole month you will train just on that, and we keep using it later. So it's really like what exactly is needed in order to inject that conscious and awareness decision, so you can be able to turn around your response, your older version response, but your new current response on the moment, and be able, when you change this internally, to be able to see it also responding externally, and to get in the confirmation as well. And this is a conclusion that leads to alertness. I have made a recent video on that. Hello Vanessa, hello Marco, on the how important is alertness, to be able on the moment to create that change of consciousness internally of yours and externally. And then you can lead and inspire, you can dominate yourself, you can master yourself. This is how you dominate and you master the room where you exist. This is how you dominate it and you master even a Facebook Live. I mean, I haven't announced a Facebook Live before. I haven't really talked a lot about that, and there are many people here interacting and sending me messages and watching live. This is how you can really create that leap that is necessary to become not only a global influencer, but also create the change that you require on your health, on your relationships, on your business, and on your what is missing? The finance, actually, your financial reality. All this mastery. By physical, mental, and emotional mastery, not separately with each other, but with each other. That's why I provide this service, all three together, and that's why I can be that effective, especially on the containers that I work. Like people getting like, we gather for one session with a person. What do you do with all the thoughts you mentioned before? Lucia, you create, you don't actually, you do actually do something with the thoughts. You put the thoughts on another level. You get congruent with your emotion and your physical reactions, and then the thoughts conclude. I was actually in a speaking presentation of a girl who had an accident, and she was for 2 months in a coma. They thought she was dead. She had a brain injury. She woke up finally from her coma, thankfully. She had amnesia, and now she's speaking about her experience in the world. So I thought about her. No, Lucia, you actually create that alertness muscle training in order your thoughts to turn around. By previously having mastered your physical reaction and your emotional reaction, and this is how you turn your thoughts. A lot of people do today like mindfulness or like even life coaches or like healers, and they're really focused on the thoughts. Change your thoughts, change your thoughts, change your thoughts. And that's exactly what, and it's not about change your thoughts really. We're missing many keys here. And I had really said to that girl, like, how was your background before? How was like your previous life? What were you feeling? Wasn't it the feeling that created some thoughts that you are thinking? And she was like, and then like a chiropractor doctor jumped in and she said, no, in chiropractic school we are learning that it's the thought that leads the emotional physical reaction. But there are research data nowadays that coming up, and this is everything about neuroplasticity and other beautiful science that really come to support physiology. And I have studied exercise physiology. I'm in all about physiology. The greatest gurus, if you want, like Tony Robbins and everything, do a lot about physiology, physical physiology, body physiology, exercise physiology, because you need to create that elite level, like an Olympian, like an elite athlete, in order to be able to master that. So what I'm saying here now will be useless to the majority, but very important to the specific ones of you. So there is like this physical and emotional mastery that is required, previously mastering your thoughts, Lucia. And this is what I teach. You observe your reactions, your emotional and physical, and you don't judge them, but you choose and create what you want. You choose, but in order to be able to choose, Lucia, you need to do a specific training and a specific practice for a short period of time, even if you do it consistently, persistently, and intensively, in order to be able, on the moment, to choose to switch your emotions, your physical, so you reach in that congruency with a result to transmit your thoughts. And I advise you to come into a Global Influence Academy and to teach you that tool, that method that I invent, and the steps that I also share with other participants, because it's really magnificent. It's really magnificent tool, and I see people like I have used it, and I see people have created from double their income, like 10K in a month, from creating from our business. I have worked with people, and in one session they went next day to their meeting, and actually their boss, that's what they're afraid to come to get into the meeting. So this is what we prepared. Their meeting discussion and process, thought process, emotional process, and physical reactions for that meeting with their boss, where actually their boss just really said yes to the proposal, and they prepared for them a contract with exactly the financial professional, and standards that they were required, that they had demanded before. And their boss just put them in a contract for them, just ready, without them being necessary to do any hard negotiation, non-hard negotiation. Or other people who have come to me with chronic pain and they have used that, but they have first chosen and decided to do that. They didn't say like, oh no, I don't go there, or I don't want to do that, or I will do it later. Oh, but I have time. Many people say this. I have time. Like, slowly, little by little. No. God, universe, or your higher self doesn't want little by little. Doesn't want slowly. No. No. That's why it creates for you these struggles, challenges, and worries or anxiety in order to speed you up, in order to create you that alertness. Or another lady with chronic pain, and she was even 70 years old. 70 years old people don't change the paradigm very easily. Don't change. And thank you, Lucia. And she had accepted to do that, and in 2 sessions, she had got over her chronic pain. Chronic pain, she was even in a rehabilitation center a year and a half ago. She was coming here with a chronic pain. She dropped her pills, Xanax and everything. And she had reduced also her thyroid pill. But she accepted and she chose to put herself in priority and say, this is me now. I do whatever it takes. I go as deeper as I need to. Not as I want to, as I need to, and as Sofia tells me. Because at the moment she realized that if I continue like this, the way I do it, it doesn't work. I get in much more pain, and I don't see what I want to see. So I will do whatever it takes. Tell me what I need to do, how to act. So actually, the end conclusion here is really like to train this alertness in order to be able to do this consciousness change on the moment. And this takes, hello Anka, yes, lovely, thank you Anka. Yes, Anka is one person that have worked in the past together, and she had been with amazing results and keep going when she chooses to go deeper until the end of her potentials. Great artist, Anka. So this is the first step would be really to get in that training and practice of that alertness in order to be able to be in that consciousness injection on the moment that there is an incident happening that really threatens, if you want, because you feel it as a threatening to your emotional, physical, and mental mastery. And this is how I help you to master all this triad system. And I write this also on the basic level rather on my book. Secondly, is really like to get those people, those mentors, like I do with my clients, and I open my space for 3 more people to work on that privately. To get those mentors, because I can see your potentials much more than you realize, in order really to get you on that training and practice. So to become powerful and to make yourself powerful by mastering those 3 aspects, that triad system, and to get you with those mentors that really can get you there, because simply they can see the potentials in you much more than you. And there is another stage that when the right mentors helps you on the call, on the first call together, to make you see those potentials. And this is how the people that I mentioned before, and if you see the testimonials, really got there. And the third one is really what is something very, very dear to me, and I work intensively. This is also how I help myself during my physical awakening, during my mental awakening also, and during my spiritual awakening, to master my physiology. And there are like 6 health principles in there. There are like 4 steps in there that when you master that, you can master your physiology. When you master your physiology, you heal any physical symptoms you have. You reach on that homeostasis, because physiology mastery is exactly because you want to reach that homeostasis. Mental mastery is because you want to reach that consciousness, alertness. And emotional mastery is really about reaching that balance where there is not positive or negative in your perception, in your emotional body. There is just a balance of full and empty, empty and full, just complete balance, complete point zero. This is not only how you become a global influencer and you influence your connections, you master your relationships, you master your professional, you master your negotiations. This is also how you go through struggles. This is how you go also through negotiations and difficult conversations with your exes, if you want, with your boss, with your colleagues, with people that you want to live together and transform together, because every conversation, every discussion is about transformation. Hello, Nestor. I will close here. Whoever would like to know more about that, I open my space about 3 people that want to join this private container, and I'm looking forward to speak with you, that you find this content priceless about mastering your domain, mastering what you really want to do. Because exactly your title or whatever you have studied is just your tool. What people want from you, and they come to you to ask from you, or they desire and they like to be with you in your present, is something much, much different and greater than you think that your job title is or what you studied is. That's just your tool. Your deeper secret tool, your deeper secret weapon is something much more priceless and much deeper. Have a good weekend.